It's 11:40.
Like I said, last game I don't think we played well by any means, but we're still in the game. And in this game we played better against a better team, I feel like, and we gave ourselves a chance to win. And something like free throws fall short. I mean, as a team, there's just little things that you can try to change, and that can just turn things around. It's different than getting your ass kicked. We're not losing like that, and it's just little things. If we can tweak those little things, make free throws, a loose ball here and there, I think it's a totally different game.
Welcome back in. Listen, I hear De'Aaron Fox, and not just audioly, but I had not heard that clip coming into today. And this morning, here's the kind of the points I threw out there for you, Jason. The Kings lost 3 games, or have lost 3 games.
Yes.
By a combined 14 points to 3 teams that are combined 8-2.
Okay.
I hate that they haven't won yet. But if I'm going to truly, truly lose it and panic, I need them to start losing to teams that they should beat. They shouldn't have beaten the first 3 teams they played.
And we thought going in that they had a really good chance of beating Portland, and they did.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, they led a lot of that game and probably should have won that game.
When you consider the fact, and again, it's early, we all look very foolish by making vast proclamations early. But Portland beat the Suns by 2. They beat the Lakers by 2. They beat the Nuggets by 25, and boy, is that a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat the Kings by 7, and that was the Kings' biggest. Honestly, the Kings lost to the Warriors by 5 and Portland by 7. I thought the Portland game was far closer than the final score indicated than the Warriors game. Fox will not almost certainly maintain this pace, but with the exception really of the 8 turnovers, and you can nitpick and say a couple of late game decisions, whatever. But he's been stellar. But Sabonis has been not great.
Mm-hmm.
Barnes has been terrible. Monk has been non-existent. Davion Mitchell's shot is still in the offseason.
Right.
The Keegan Casey-Paula thing is strange. So I do think I'm not trying to, especially after coming off the last segment, I'm not trying to do the whole like, hey guys, they're really good. But I do think if you take emotion out of the equation, hey, they've lost to 3 teams that are combined 8-2. They were in every single game. And this schedule is brutal to start. I don't want to bury them yet.
Yeah. Well, and at some point, if they're going to be the team that they think they can be, whether or not we do or not, or whatever you guys out there think about them, and the course of 82, you do win some games against teams that have better records than you, that you think have a better roster than you. So at some point, that's going to have to start happening.
Yes.
Because when you're an 0-3 team, then if we just do that, where you go, and this is what we've all been guilty of the last 5 years, let's say. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, the Kings should beat that team. When you miss the playoffs every year, who should you beat? Like, I don't know that you have the luxury to say, oh, they're playing Orlando. Well, they're in the lottery too. Kings have been in the lottery. Oh, it's just Houston. What does that mean? Mm-hmm. Houston's not going to lose all 82. So, yeah, I think it gets when you're a non-playoff team, that kind of becomes a dangerous thought. Like, well, you should never lose to this team. You're one of those teams.
I agree with you, and I will tell you my system. It's actually incredibly simple. When I say the Kings should beat a team, in my mind, when I consider should the Kings beat a team, I look at 2 things. If it's that day and I'm judging the game, are they favored by Las Vegas?
Okay.
And in the case of Portland, where the Kings were favored, I want to say by 2, I look back now and I go, okay, if that game was tonight at Golden One Center, Portland will be favored by probably 4 to 5.5. So some of those lines will change mentally, but that's the simplest way I can do it. Are they supposed to? In other words, are they expected to by the ones that rely monetarily on it to win this game? And that kind of cuts through all the analysis and emotion with it. They have not, with the exception, the one game they haven't been favored in this year is the only 4-0 team in the NBA, and Vegas did not know that in game one.
Right.
They might have thought they were better than we thought. I heard a lot of Kings fans going into game one thinking that was easy money. They were going to put a ton of money down on the Kings because how could they only be favored by 2 or 2.5 at home? Obviously, that was a bad decision. But when you look at their schedule, if you simply go by that, and I'm not saying that's the end-all be-all, Jason, but I'm saying that's what we have, and we've talked about this before, they are almost certainly not going to be supposed to win a game, favored to win a game until November 5th against Orlando, a week from this Saturday.
Right. And then, I've honestly watched them a couple games, and Orlando is going to put it together. I don't know if it's happening this year. Like, they've got some good young talent that looks like more of a legitimate team going forward. It may not be right away. But I think if you look at the Kings and even the cut you just played about De'Aaron, it doesn't feel like they're far off, but they're off. And I think right now, if you go down the roster, like I've learned this over the years, if the Kings played a great game, it doesn't even matter whom, we would still find maybe 2 or 3 players on that 9-man rotation that, man, imagine if this guy was also good. Like, it's rare that you have a night where every single player was great.
Yes.
I would say right now, De'Aaron Fox has been really good. Yes. I think Keegan Murray in his 2 games has been really good. I think that's the list. Kevin Huerter's been close.
Yeah, he had a great game off.
He was, pretty good. I mean, but I think, you need and then you go the other way. Barnes has been disappointing. Mitchell has been disappointing. Holmes finally had a better game. I don't know. I mean, the list is a little too equal of who's been really good and who's been disappointing, and there's been a lot of in between. I would say Sabonis has been closer to disappointing certainly than good. So that list needs to tip in the other favor of more guys playing at a higher level than it is.
I'm really surprised at how quick people have turned on Sabonis. 3 games.
Right.
2 of them were bad. 1 especially bad. Guy had a double-double. What do you have, 19 and 10 in 3 quarters against the Warriors? I mean, first off, it's tough to extrapolate from 3 games. But secondly,
are you saying it because he's still new to the team, or it's the season's young? Because let's flip that and say Fox has had 3 bad games. They're crushing him.
Oh, they're crushing him. And part of that is, I think he's a little of both. He's been here. Whoever is your theory, whoever's been here longest generally gets crushed the most.
Yeah.
But I feel like Sabonis has earned, like, the fact that you're looking at 4 straight years of double-doubles.
Yeah.
4 straight years of incredibly efficient 54, 53, 58, 55% shootings. 4 straight years of a guy averaging. I mean, listen, his last 4 years, including, by the way, Sacramento, he's averaged between 18 and 20 points. He's averaged right around 12 and a half rebounds. And I think most impressively, he's averaged 6.7, 5, and last year 5.8 assists. I call him Diet Jokic for a reason. They're about the same defender, which isn't anything to write home about. And he's obviously lesser version of Nikola Jokic, but that versatile, crafty, good passing center. It's just, it's like a second cousin of the Dame has washed people.
Right.
Like, let's talk in 20 games about DeMontis. I'm not worried about DeMontis Sabonis.
Yeah, he's got to get, obviously, I know the team is working on overall team defense. I feel like he's been an area that's hurt them interior-wise. And then I just go back to the Portland game where they went small, and I thought that was such a great opportunity for him to thrive.
Yes.
And he didn't. Doesn't mean that's dictating the whole season for him. So, yeah, if I'm going to guess, is he going to play well against Memphis? I'll go with yes. Because generally he plays well more nights than he doesn't. I just don't think he's been very good so far.
Well, I hope you're right about the Memphis thing. Here's my issue, man. Here's the other thing you have to look at too. What was the Clippers? So you've gone. So last game was will we both agree his best game?
Yeah.
19 and 10
and like 20 minutes
quarters and 20 minutes. Yeah. So game 1 he went up against Nurkic. Game 2 he went up against Zubac. He's going up against Jonas Valanciunas. He does not do well. Those guys generally.
Oh, this one's
or not
Adams.
Adams. I'm
Adams.
sorry, Valanciunas. I'm thinking 3 years ago. He's got. That's a lot of beef
Yeah.
down below.
Yeah.
Don't isolate that. I like the matchup with Adams more than Valanciunas.
Yeah.
I know I still think he was there. So I'm with you, actually. I'll change that whole thing around. Yeah, hopefully this is a bit of, but again, what's his breakout game going to be? 26 and
18.
Yeah, it's just, it's not, you're expecting to put up 44 and
Right.
50. And if you're thinking that Sabonis is the problem on defense, Sabonis, it's like thinking a snake is the problem for rattling. Sabonis is who he always has been on defense. Same with Fox and same with Barnes. That's not your issue there unless you're looking at it as a collective issue. And unless they make wholesale defensive changes, it ain't going to work. But you can make wholesale